or list 'em, love or list 'em.
Morning, fam. Welcome to Love 'em or List 'em. We do this every single Thursday at this time.
Let's go.
You know, we've all been in those weird dating situations. It's like, man, how did we end up here? We ask our friends and family for help. Well, on Thursdays, all of us gets to help out one of our own. And today, that person is Natasha. She's dating somewhat of a man child, but I don't know if it's to the extreme that we've talked about on our show before. And she's going to explain here in just a second what she's dealing with. So with that,
Are we
Natasha,
talking man-child like he's young but looks old, or are we talking like he's, like
Adult.
25 but acts like he's 5?
kind of like that.
Okay.
We'll see. So Natasha, welcome to the show. What have you been experiencing that we can help you with today?
How am I supposed to deal with a grown man who wants to keep living basically like it's the 90s?
Well, a lot of people love the 90s. I mean, is he wearing like overalls with one strap undone and
And swimming in gushers?
Dwayne Wayne glasses?
Okay, so my boyfriend, he just turned 32, and he's kind and ambitious, and he comes from a good family. I love his family and stuff. But all of his favorite hobbies are just very childlike.
In
Well,
what way?
we need
What is-
examples.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's a wrong thing or bad thing for adults to have those hobbies. You know, there's a lot of people that like Star Wars or different things.
Right.
Yeah.
What's he doing, and why is it a problem for you?
Well, exactly. So he has a room in his house which is dedicated to all of his favorite things he liked as a kid. So Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, Pogs, Ninja Turtles, all of that stuff. And you would honestly when you walk in there, you would think it's the bedroom of a 12-year-old boy, but it's actually in his mind, it's his version of a man cave. And I don't know, we've dated for a few months, but he literally just showed me this room 2 weekends ago, and it was so weird.
It's like his version of the 50 Shades of Red room, but all of his 90s stuff that he was a fanboy of.
Brian, this sounds like a room that you would love to go into.
I was just going to say, Sarah.
Look at your smile on his
I
face.
know, it sounds amazing.
Everything you described made my smile get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Brian's now inspired to have one in his own den, Natasha.
Yes. Therefore, I'm bowing out of this lover listum because I'm way too biased.
You're reclusing yourself?
I am. Goodbye.
Why does this weird you out so much, though? If he's a nice guy and all those things that you told us in email, why does this weird you out so much?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I understand there's, grown adults who are nerds or whatever. And even though, I don't really get your galaxy icon, Star Wars, Star Trek enthusiasm stuff, I know that it exists. I know it's a thing. I just did not realize my boyfriend had this in him until, he showed me this room. And it's just all dedicated to, 90s old, dusty stuff. How do I don't know. I just feel how do I separate, the man from the boy? Is it just part of him? Is it still in him? Is it all combined? It's just so bizarre. It's he's kind of a dork. I just don't understand what his obsession is.
What if somebody shamed you for getting your nails done and your hair done because they see it as frivolous? From my understanding, a man cave can have anything they want in it, and I don't think it's fair to give him, to judge him on this. He sounds like an interesting person to me.
I mean, I guess, yeah, and, it's wall to wall. It's there are shelves, and, it's dusty, and they're old, and I don't, these things don't, I just looked at it, and it was very overwhelming. I just was what is this? And it's ugh, I don't know, it's just something a kid would be into, and he's 32 years old. It now, makes perfect sense to me why he wants to keep rewatching Independence Day, all the time.
Hey, I also watch Independence Day all the time when it's on TV. I get it. Some people are stuck in the 90s or their favorite era, but as long as he gets his, adult responsibilities taken care of, I don't really see the big problem in this.
He sounds fun to me.
I like this guy.
Love him or list him. She's dating what she feels is, maybe kind of a man child, and she's being kind of weirded out by his enthusiasm for kid-like stuff. All right, Natasha, stay right there, okay?
All right.
With that, before we go back to Natasha here in just a second, we have some advice for her right now. First up, we got Amanda with us right now. Good morning, Amanda. Welcome to Kyle, Brian, and Sarah. Love them or list them. What side of this are you on?
Well, listless Natasha.
Right?
I've never in all of my life heard somebody say like so many times
That's why you
In a-
don't like her.
in a story. Wow. Okay, so I think she sounds like a fabulous person, but I am a little biased. My husband is 44. He'll be 45 this year. And he, to this day, still plays Dungeons and Dragons with his friends that he played with when he was a teenager.
I
and
love that.
I love that so freaking much.
Yeah. Are they playing the same game that they've been playing? That's the thing
Yeah.
about Dungeons and Dragons. It can go on for years.
Yes, ma'am, it can. But so they started a new game. I think it's called The Curse of Strahd. I think 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So just 3 years they've been playing the same
Yeah.
game.
So you are saying,
That's a long time.
list
I know.
Natasha. If I'm I'm
Yes.
reading between the lines, list Natasha.
List Natasha.
There it is. Hey, thank you for calling. You have a good day. Thanks for listening. Have a great Thursday.
Have a great Thursday, guys. Bye.
We got Shannon in Williamston. You know, when she calls, she has something to say. Shannon, what do you want to say?
She needs to list him because he sounds like a great time, and she needs to put him out there so someone else can snatch him up.
That's it. She doesn't appreciate
Also
him.
known as
No.
listing Natasha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think is the worst thing she's imagined with this? You know, like there's a reason she wants to list him. Like, what does she think this dude is or is going to happen?
There's nothing that could happen. It's not like it's an entire house. It's a room. Don't go
Right.
in there.
Right.
I guess I just don't get it. Like, what's the breaking point where you say, I don't
Yeah.
want this guy?
I think it's self-esteem issues for.
But
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't
So
know. I just
definitely
don't
list
get
him
it.
so someone else can get him.
It just seems so
Exactly.
harmless.
Yeah, I agree fully.
Yep.
Shannon, thank you
Yeah.
for calling. Have a good day.
Y'all too. Thanks.
Jan,
Dan.
good morning. It's Kyle, Brian, and Sarah. Love him or list him?
I say love him. It's a harmless quirk, and if she loves him, she can overlook that. For God's sake, she can learn how to cross stitch.
Thank you, Jan. Have a good day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Katie Canello, that's a fun name, Katie, who just messaged us on Facebook. Similar to what Jan just told us, she goes, list her, dear Lord. If all she has to worry about is her man collecting toys and video games,
Right.
she's a lucky lady.
I think she's missing it. I think just through all these conversations, how it's hitting me now is there's a difference between celebrating your childhood and acting like a child.
There you go.
And she's not understanding the difference.
I agree.
Back to Natasha, who has had a lot of commentary about this. Natasha, you've heard the advice, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I realize how many times we tell you something, you're still going to probably do whatever you want to do.
That's right.
Love them or list them, Natasha. What have you decided?
I'm gonna have to list them. Like, I can't. I'm just too weirded out. Like, this is so much more dorky and like out of left field, and I just don't think I can deal with it. So that's it for me, I think.
Well, I hope you find a accountant out there who likes to watch action movies and, sit on the couch and eat sensible snacks. 'Cause
Sarah?
that's what it sounds like you're looking for.
Sarah is shaking her head at you right now, Natasha. Why are you so just
I
like...
just think he's fun. I think you're not giving him a fair shake, but you know what? You like what you like. And if it weirds you out, then there's somebody else out there for you, and you shouldn't be wasting this guy's time.
Yeah, I think it's just not a match. Like,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's
Fair.
not going to work.
Yeah, you don't see your future self going to GalaxyCon conventions downtown at the Raleigh Convention Center,
That's
evidently.
fun.
No. Yeah, I'm just, like, not going to be the one dating a dork. So, thanks for helping me.
What
Bye,
a shame.
Natasha.
You know, dorks run the world.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're right, Brian. Bye, Natasha.
Bye.
What's a shame is he really could have been good for her.
Yeah.
You know, like putting a bounce house inside of the DMV.
Brian.
Sometimes you just need a little, like, injection
Yeah.
of fun.
But you have to open the door
You
first.
gotta open the door.
But, Brian,
Totally.
this man has been saved from having to deal with that. The winner in all this is the boyfriend who now doesn't have to deal with his, future girlfriend griping and complaining and saying to him over and over again, when are you ever going to grow up, which no doubt was going to happen. And also, as we've learned over the last several years doing this, man, we complain about a lot of different things. Just when we find somebody that's a nice person, has their act together, why do we have to find that one thing that drives us crazy, I feel like, always about the other person?
Well, if you look for something negative, you're always going to find it.
All right, love them or list them every single Thursday, 7:55.